Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about piping. A pipe is a form of redirection that sends the output of one command or process to another command or process for further processing. You can send the output of one command to the input of another using the pipe character, which is just this vertical line. It sort of looks like a pipe. Now, information flows in the pipeline from left to right. So the output flows into the input of another command. So in our terminal, let's just call ls tac l. And so we see all of our output right here. We can send this output. So when we call ls tac l, the default is to output to the terminal. So all that text gets put in our terminal. We can pipe that output to someplace else. We can send it someplace else. So let's call ls tac l and let's pipe the output to another command. Let's output it to the less command. So now when I click enter, we call ls tac l. We long list all of the documents in here, and we're sending the output instead to the terminal screen. We're going to send it to the less command. And so it prints it again, but it kind of prints it in this like page format that we're used to seeing. Right? If I just called less on its own, it says it's missing its file name. But when I give it ls tac l and I pipe the output here, the file name or the file is coming from the output of this first command. Now, that really wasn't too beneficial at all because there wasn't much, I guess, text to look at. But let's say like we call ps, the ps command to look at our processes. There's a lot of stuff here. And maybe I don't want to have to scroll through it like this. Well, I can call my command and use the pipe to pipe the output to the less command. And so now this output, instead of getting printed to the screen, is going to be piped or redirected to the less command. And so now when I look, now I have that nice page format, and I can sort of flip through these pages nicely until I get to the end.
Hello and welcome back. Moving through the Linux directory structure.
We can also redirect the output of a command using the redirection operator, which is just the greater than or less than sign. So let's actually send ls tac l. We'll redirect it into a file called my files. So if you see, the text didn't get outputted to the screen. And now if we look, we have a file called my files right here. So if I cat my files, it's the long listing of this directory. And so here it is. And so now that we have this file, we could maybe do some operations with it. So like we could call the word count command, wc, to count the number of lines, words, and characters. So if I type wc and then my files, it tells me I have 10 lines. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, look at that. 83 words. I'm not going to count those. I'm going to take it for face value. And 454 characters. Great. We can accomplish the same thing here using pipes. So I have my file, right? My files. I can cat my file. So when I do this, cat will send the text, it outputs the text to the screen. But I could also cat my files and pipe that output to a new command. I'll pipe it to the word count file. And so now when I do this, if you notice before up here I had to type word count and then I had to give the name of the file. I don't have to give the name of the file because we're getting the input from the pipe. The output of this file is being piped to the input of this command. So when I click enter now, we get the exact same thing, 10, 83, and 454. In fact, I should be able to do this exactly the same if I just do ls tac l and I pipe that to my word count. The output gets piped right to word count and it's looking exactly the same. Let's do something similar with the types of processes that are running on our computer. So let's see, let's clear this. And so if I do ps tac ef, there's all of that. But I want to redirect this into a file. So let's see, we're going to say ps tac ef, and we're going to redirect the output into a text file. We'll call it processes. I might be spelling that wrong. Processes. Yeah, sure. We'll run with that. If I spelled it wrong, I apologize. So now if I look, we've got that file right here, processes, and let's call word count on it. So I can call word count processes, and it looks like I've got 180 lines, 1,543 words. If I wanted to use this using pipes, I could just cat processes to the screen and then redirect its output. Instead of going to the terminal, I'm going to send it right to word count, and we get a very similar thing here. I could, of course, bypass putting everything in a file by just calling ps-ef and piping that directly to word count. And so we're seeing similar ways to run everything here. Looks like we've got a small change in the number of characters. Of course, maybe we're running different processes at this point. If I check top really quick, I've got a total of 178 processes running, and oh, didn't mean to close that. Let me come back here. 178 processes running, and there's an extra line here which would give me 179. So we're pretty close. We're pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so let's clear this. So now we have two files here. We're going to keep these, my files and processes, because I think we're going to use them in our next video. I will see you then.